Hello, my name is Alevtina Madiarova, and in today's episode, we are going to explore the culture of a country which is both close and distant to us. And it is quite easy to find out by looking at my outfit that we are going to meet the Japanese people living here in Kazakhstan. Konnichiwa. In today's episode, we are going to practice Japanese calligraphy. Oki, how? Ahude. Ahude. It's a big brush. And the little one? Kohude. The small brush only needs to write the name in the end, so it means that we write with hieroglyphics, and then we write the name of the author in the end. Yes, here I'm trying on a summer kimono, yukata, and it would look beautiful if I take these tiny steps. Well, you have to take tiny steps, because the clothes won't let you take wider steps. This is an interesting story about Japanese life in Kazakhstan and the light summer Japanese dishes that are easy to prepare. It is perfect for summertime. I think a lot of people will notice that, and they will cook it by themselves tonight. You can even throw a party in a Japanese style. Of course, there aren't a lot of Japanese people in Kazakhstan, and mostly these people came here because of their business or career. Meet my new friends here, Naomi Abe and Mori Madoka. They work at the Japanese Cultural Center, and they bring Japanese culture here to us, the Kazakhs. Abe has been living here in Almaty for more than 7 years. She speaks Russian fluently, and she thinks that Kazakh and Japanese mentality has a lot in common. Mori-san became an Almaty citizen about 2 years ago. Before I came to Kazakhstan, I didn't know anything about this country. And before that, I lived and I worked in Mongolia. And I thought that these countries have a lot in common. And only when I came here, I realized that I was wrong. Mori says that everything surprised her. The skyscrapers and mountains, which are extremely beautiful, as well as the environment. But the most surprising thing was the diversity of ethnic groups living here in Kazakhstan. Both Abe-san and Mori-san claim that it's easy for Japanese people to understand the mentality of Kazakhs. The basic rules are similar: respect for one's elders, the primacy of men, and hospitality. However, there are a few things that don't shock the travelers and immigrants, but certainly puzzle them. It is uncommon in Japan to ask personal questions. And when someone is unfamiliar and they ask me about my age or my marital status or whether or not I have children, I still can't get used to that. And when I first came here, I was completely shocked. Mori and Abe taught me to cook Japanese dishes. Their names are difficult to memorize, but the recipes are quite easy. Today we have an unusual meeting. We have already cooked the dishes of Caucasus, Russian, and Ukrainian, as well as Italian cuisine. Today is a day that I've been waiting for a very long time. Here we're going to be cooking Japanese dishes. Here we have Abe-san and Mori-san. And what should I call this properly? Okonomiyaki. Okonomiyaki? And what does it look like? Can you try to explain it? Abe-san also represents the Japanese Cultural Center. She is a senior development advisor. Well, you already know Mori-san. Well, like pancakes or Japanese pizza. There aren't many ingredients. Just water, flour, sauces, cabbages, meat, eggs, and a sort of secret Japanese flavoring, yes? It's like broth. Now Mori-san will show us how to do it right, and I'll help. As it turned out, usually white cabbage is widely used in Japanese cuisine, and it is one of the most popular ingredients. And today she discovered the secret meaning of the phrase, chop the cabbage. What dishes do you often cook at home in Japan?
What's your favorite dish? Japanese. Maybe not Japanese. Maybe you prefer Italian cuisine.
Of course, we like Japanese dish, and I like okonomiyaki, Japanese pizza too. But yeah, especially I like fish.
But today is Kazakh day.
Yes.
It's midday.
There are also eggs, 1 or 2, and a couple of tablespoons of flour, a little amount of dry broth for flavoring. Flour and meat are sliced into very thin slices.
We can cut. Имка.
Не очень много. Нежное тесто, да, будет? You can do everything with stick.
Yeah.
No any spoon, no any fork.
Well, as long as everything is clear, I see that all the ingredients are usual. You know, when you comment about everything in Japanese, the process acquires a special mystique. It seems that it's not just cooking, but it's something magical. Now we need a stove and a frying pan, right? Devices like that one occurred within the development of civilization. They replaced small roasters, which were installed in the middle of the table. It's so comfy when the pan is on the table. You often use them in Japan, yeah? Yes. Perhaps it is very convenient when you have a small kitchen and a small apartment. And when we're having guests, it's also convenient. Ah, you mean that you can cook with guests right at the table? Who generally cooks in Japan? Men or women? Of course, women. Men never cook. The cooking process doesn't take a lot of time. Okonomiyaki is quickly prepared on a fine heated pan. Is this considered fast food? What else do you cook in everyday life? For example, Japanese women come home from working in the evening. What is she going to cook? Well, this dish is a low-calorie dish because it contains a little amount of flour. And there is also cabbage and fatless meat. And almost nothing else. Do Japanese people like light meals as this one? Yes, they usually eat rice every day. And what about fish? Do you eat fish often? Yes. Well, if we had access to the ocean, and if me and Abe-san lived near the islands, I think we would eat seafood every day as well. Green tea is my favorite drink among Japanese drinks, and the love for tea is not the only thing common between our cultures.
What's your favorite dish in Kazakhstan? Do you like it?
Yeah.
We had a lot to discuss during the cooking. It turned out that Japanese people also bring gifts when they're visiting someone at home. However, they rarely give flowers to girls, even on dates.
Not Japanese guys are not romantic.
Well, maybe it comes from ancient times, from the harsh samurai nature. Yeah.
Готово. Готово.
Готово.
Очень красиво выглядит. И очень ароматно.
Finally, the okonomiyakis are ready and you can try them. The girls have added spices to the pancakes, and they also add mayo. For me, the sauce would be enough because it's delicious, like all Japanese flavors. However, the Japanese people like mayonnaise so much, and tastes differ. Am I doing everything right? Tell me, am I breaking the rules of Japanese etiquette? Who traditionally starts meals in Japan? The elderly person or the husband? Well, it's always the elderly person. Well, the East remains the East, and that's why Japanese people feel very comfortable in Kazakhstan, because there are a lot of similarities.
Itadakimasu.
いただきます。
It is perfect for summertime, and I think a lot of people will notice that, and will cook it on their own tonight. You can even throw a party in a Japanese style. Well, here's the long-awaited Japanese-style party. On the 7th of July, the Japanese celebrate the holiday which has a beautiful name, Tanabata, or the Star Festival. On this night, the constellation Bootis and Weaver have to meet, and since they patronize all lovers, couples on the Earth also tend to marry on this day. Also, special star-shaped noodles are prepared for tanabata. And of course, everybody's wearing national clothes. My favorite part of any episode is, of course, the national clothing part. And I think that no one can resist in front of this beautiful festival, wearing a Japanese kimono with such an elegant belt. Aselia Ismailova is head of the administrative department of Japanese Cultural Center. She is more than familiar with Japanese culture, and she looks like our Japanese friends. So when somebody speaks Japanese with her, she answers in Japanese without even thinking. It is ordinary cotton, and yet there is a kind of grace in it. Well, yes. Also, when it is complemented by belts and bows, do the modern Japanese women wear it every day? Yes, they do, but not in everyday life, only for holidays. For example, we celebrate Tanabata today, and today we also celebrate it in Japan. When I was visiting Japan, I was lucky to get there on Tanabata. When you enter the park, you can see that everyone's wearing national clothes. The cotton kimono yukata is a single layer, and the winter kimono consists of 3 layers of thick, heavy cloth. And would it look beautiful if I take these tiny steps? Well, you have to take tiny steps, because the clothing won't let you take wider steps. What is this belt called? This is obi. Obi means belt in Japanese. And yukata, obi. What are the other names? Well, there is a himo obi. A himo obi. Yes, literally it means thin rope. Everything is ready. Wearing these clothes, I think that I have to learn at least one phrase in Japanese. Minasan konnichiwa. Minasan konnichiwa. These are special cards with wishes on Tanzaka. They are a must-have on Tanabata Day. Yukata, obi, himo obi, tanabata, tanzaku. And you know, it's not so difficult to memorize the meanings of all of these words. Tanabata is a holiday, which is celebrated today, the Stars Festival. Tanzaka is a card with wishes. Does it have to be my personal wish? Well, it can be personal, or you can dedicate it to the whole world. Let it be common for everyone. I wish everyone to have less tears and more joy. More strength and more love. No one can live without it, right? And also more light. And where should I put my tanzaka? You should hang it on sasa, a Japanese bamboo. Sasa means bamboo in Japanese. So many new words that we've learned today, and so many discoveries we've also made. Now my tanzaka and all the others go to the universe. And I hope that all these kind words that were said today will come true. At the Japanese party, as well as in the Japanese center, you can not only try on a kimono, there's also everything you need to possess many Japanese crafts. For example, anyone can learn how to make origami, or possess the art of cutting paper. There's no doubt that Japanese people succeed in scrupulous kinds of craftsmanship, which cannot exist without perseverance, calmness, and patience. But more than anything else, Japanese calligraphy requires proper training of the spirit. And it is a special school bag, a calligraphy set. Here is everything you need to learn calligraphy. This suitcase, it appears to have contents that haven't changed over the centuries. Everything remains the same as before. Perhaps even the appearance of these items have helped us to do it in the right way. Here's inside the inkwell that we used. And by the way, it's quite heavy. Yes, it's made of stone. Stone? Yes. I thought it was made of some kind of metal. Oki. How? Oka. Oki. And this? A hude. A hude. It's a big brush. And the little one? Kohude. On the small brush, you only need to write the letters of the name at the end. So it means we're going to write a hieroglyph, and then we will write the names of the author in the end? Yes. And this is dry ink. It's used only in the classroom. It is filled with water, and by mixing it, you can get ink. You mean that these kinds of ancient things are still used in the country with the most developed modern technologies? Yes. Calligraphy lessons should start calmly and be balanced, without hassle. Japanese calligraphy plays a very important role in Japanese culture. Why? I think Abe-san will tell us today. And at the same time, I'd like to try to learn a bit of this art, though it's probably quite difficult. Well, what should I start with? Removing everything you don't need here like this. To avoid blots? Yes. So I should press a little bit at the beginning. And then... Aha! And that's it. Aha! It seemed quite easy with the help and guidance of Abe-san. But real masters of this art spend their whole lives trying to possess this art form. For example, Michiko Hamasaki, who can write huge hieroglyphs on a big canvas. She can use enormous brushes. My first step in this art is timid, but it's not for nothing. Well done. You mean that I got it? Yeah. Well, if that's so, look carefully at this paper and try to remember it. It says Tanabata. It is the name of today's holiday, the Stars Festival, which is dedicated to lovers and Butis and Weaver who met today in the sky. Every important action in Japanese culture is accompanied by important words. Well, arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you so much. And the magic phrase that is said when something is done. Otsukara sama deshita. Well, let's hope that the stars, Weaver and Butis, will come together in the right way tonight, and the whole Tanzaka wishes will come true. It was a recipe for friendship. My name is Alevtina Madiarova. See you soon.